Guys, so welcome back to an episode of What in the World's Going On with My Truck Now. Those of you guys who've been following, you know that I started out with 2004 Silverado with a 5.3 liter LS and installed a truck Norris camshaft in it, did an electronic fan conversion, and just a simple Spectre cold air intake from the auto parts store. And I was able to get a best time of 960 and 8 of a mile, which, you know, it's no race car speed or what have you, but it is definitely a significant improvement over where the truck started. So I collected a few parts and I've been filming as I go along, and a lot of you guys may have already seen where I'm at currently, but I wanted to give you guys an update of where I'm currently at. The upgrades that I've put on the truck, I did a set of CNC ported Wilkes performance heads, stage 1, but it does have an upgraded, the next step up in exhaust valve on it. Some long tube speed engineering headers, which were a great fit. It's a good budget part. I'm pretty impressed with how they fit. I've done a lot of headers and these fit really well, and they definitely changed the sound of the truck. It sounds pretty nice. Also did a fast LSXRT intake on it. I did keep the 78mm throttle body after a few recommendations from other folks. And also, when I did the fast intake, I did a conversion for it, and I added some 1000cc snake eater injectors. I picked those up secondhand on Marketplace and got a really good deal on those. So my first startup was pretty bad. Matter of fact, it wouldn't start at all. Just turn over and over and over. You know, I mean, you guys have dealt with that. I realized that I hadn't connected the wire under the power steering pump, which actually fires your coil packs, or it grounds out your coil packs. And I turned it over and over and over and over, flooded everything out. So I had issues from the get-go there. It wouldn't fire up, and I was like, what in the world am I going to do? So started talking with a few buddies, and you know, they kind of led me along. So I tightened up that particular ground and got my spark back. And from there, you know, it did fire up. I had to hold it to the floor to get it to backfire and kick and stutter. But at least then, you know, I knew it was firing. At least at the time, I was talking with a buddy of mine, Chris, over at CSC Auto Works. He's like, hey, have you scaled your injectors yet? And I'm like, have I done what? So he kind of walked me through the process of scaling injectors, and I'm like, you know, I'm a carb guy, so these injectors, all this stuff's kind of new to me. But he walked me through the process, and I did a little research on my own. And another buddy of mine, Chris, over at Frog's Garage, he has a video out about a basic startup tune. So I took his basic startup tune and made a few changes in my tune just to help it along, to make it idle on its own. And with the first key start, the thing fired right up. Of course, after a few seconds of running, I could tell I definitely flooded some of the cylinders out. I mean, it was missing and carrying on, acting stupid. So, of course, I shut it off, pulled the plugs, cleaned the plugs out, checked the oil, realized, I mean, obviously there's going to be a good bit of fuel down the oil, but not enough to really keep me from, you know, test tuning on it. And cleaned the plugs up, put them back in, fired it up, it fired right up. And it sounded pretty decent, but I could tell there was still a misfire going on, and so I went ahead and tested all the plugs, had fire on all the plugs, put everything back together, fired it up again. I was like, okay, so if it's not a fire issue, it's definitely a fuel issue. So I let it run 15-20 seconds, just long enough to heat everything up real good. Went around and touched all the different header tubes and found the dead cylinder. So I knew then I'm going to have an injector issue, which, you know, it is what it is. I got them second hand, and there's a strong chance that the damage to the injector was done by me when I put it in, because what I did find was the pin on the constant was actually broke off and stuck inside of the connector. So most likely I didn't put it together, because it was the one on the very back of the motor on the driver's side, kind of tough to get to. There's a strong chance I damaged it when I was putting it together to begin with. So knowing that I needed an injector, the hunt began, and I was a little frustrated, a little sad about the whole thing. I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, man, I'm gonna have to buy a whole nother set of injectors. And I didn't really want to spend another $400, $500, $600 on a good set of injectors, because it's just not really within my budget. But my budget, I want to be at $5,000 on my whole bill, and I'm at 3,100 give or take with all the things that have gone wrong. So the Snake Eater 1000cc 96 pound injectors, that's what's in my truck. And of course, first thing I did when I realized, I got a bad injector, I go to the website and start looking around, see if I can find it. No, could not find it at all. I found the upgraded version of what I have, but it wasn't the same. And the price there, it's reasonably priced, but I needed one injector, right? So I reached out to Snake Eater Performance Support via email. Their website will tell you, they've got a lot of noise going on and they don't always hear the phone ring. So if you really got an issue, go ahead and email them. So I did exactly that. I emailed them, and probably about an hour later, I got a response, which I've dealt with a lot of different groups since I started on this build, and most of the time, you don't get any kind of response. So the fact that they responded blew my mind. Some of these bigger box locations, I'm not going to name their names, but they know who they are. You start reaching out to those guys, you can't get them on the phone. They don't answer an email. Short of sending them a letter. I don't know how you get a hold of these folks. But within an hour, I had a gentleman, Ryan. He responded right back. Ryan wanted to get basic info, and unfortunately, I got mine secondhand, so I didn't have a lot of info. The only thing I could tell him is who I bought them from on Facebook, and I knew that the guy that I bought them from had bought them from a performance shop that was no longer in business. However, Ryan did some research. First off, for a $40 to $60 sale, I was impressed that they even wasted their time with me. But Ryan did research. Not only did he find out who bought them, but he found out what he bought, and he actually was able to pull up the original data information so he could put me an injector together, send it to my house, and it's data matched, flow matched to the original set. I don't know much about injectors, but to me that impressed me. And not to mention, first off, it's a veteran-owned and operated company, which speaks to me anyway. I am definitely a blue-collar guy. I am a red, white, and blue guy. I believe in this country and everything that it stands for. I'm not a particular fan of what's going on currently. However, anytime I get a chance to support a vet, I'm going to. So for $60, he put my mind at ease. Said, you know what, we're gonna match you an injector, and we're gonna send it to you, and you're gonna be able to plug and play. And he said you'll never know the difference. It'll be just like an original, 8-count set that you bought. Like I said, I'm not an injector pro by any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, this is the first set of performance injectors I've ever bought, and I was impressed right off the bat. After about 3 days, tracking info popped up, and I saw that my injector had left the building, and I wanted to show you guys how they package it. Now this is just it was a $40 part, about $60 with the shipping, handling, taxes, and all that. So this is, it's basically like a little small Amazon purchase is how I looked at it. But not these guys, and how they do things. I want to show you how they packaged it. So, this is a box that it came in, single injector. Now, I have already put the injector in the truck, so I repackaged another one just so you guys could see. But this is the box it came in. This is the data sheet they gave me, where they had flow matched everything to the original set. First off, that's pretty impressive to begin with. I don't know a lot of people that would have done that. Okay, so we got the box. Inside the box, open up, and here we go again. Bubble wrapped package inside the box. And even though I've already opened it, this sucker is, listen. Look at that, guys. Inside the bubble wrap, it is boxed again. Inside this box, you have an injector inside a plastic bag, and it was sealed up really nice. That's one injector. It's one injector, guys. Look at the care they took to send me a single injector. Now, I can't sit here and tell you that the Snake Eater is the best injector on the market. I have no idea how good they are. They do have decent reviews. What I can tell you is just by the way it's packaged and the customer service that I've dealt with, they're a company that really believes in their product and they believe in their own customer service. Hands down, it's the best customer service that I've dealt with, and I'd recommend this company just for the service. They have a new budget-friendly line out, so you can get a set of 8 for $349 up to $399, depending on what horsepower what your horsepower goals are. And they do have a lifetime warranty, and they come with tuning data. So for a set of 8, you can spend $350 give or take, and have an injector that'll handle all the way up to 800 horsepower natural. So they got a set of 8 80-pound injectors, and I know that's kind of the going rate for everybody. People want 80-pound injectors when they're going boosted, and it says it'll handle up to 1,000 horsepower. So if you're looking for a reasonable priced injector, a good quality product, you should definitely check this out. Now, they're not sponsoring this video. Matter of fact, they'll probably bill me for using their name. But I'm so impressed by their customer service. I had to at least mention the products. After receiving the injector, I did get it put in, and briefly had fire and fuel on all 8 cylinders. Then it said a PO200 code. And I assumed that was in my tuning data. I was wrong. Chris over at Frog said, "Man, that's a mechanical issue." He said, "Start looking for grounds." So that's what I've started doing, and I know that my coolant temp sensor, the harness itself, kind of crumbled as I took it apart. So I know I've got an issue there, and from all the research that I've done on my particular truck, that coolant temp sensor can cause all kinds of issues. It'll show a lean condition, so the computer's automatically going to throw extra fuel at it, which could definitely cause my misfire issue. I do smell fuel, and I can reset. I can clear the code, and it'll fire up and run perfectly for about a minute and a half. Then that code sets and it starts freaking out. Sometimes it'll even kill the motor. So I'm going to start with what I know is wrong first. I'm going to order me a pigtail, fix that. If that doesn't fix the problem, I'll pull the intake back off, start looking at the grounds behind the intake. I did do a repair there. There's a possibility that one of my repairs did come loose. Matter of fact, kind of leaning towards that's probably the problem, but I wanted to fix this coolant sensor issue first because I know that's a problem. I do want to thank some of my friends out there. These guys have kind of pushed me along the way. You got Chris over at CNC Auto Works, Chris at Frog's Garage, and Brian over at Blue Collar Hot Rod. All these guys have given me tech help, and they've supported me. They've helped me with tuning. If you're working on a Silverado, if you're working on anything, you should tune into these guys. Subscribe, check them out. They definitely know what they're doing, and they're real quick to help you. And to me, that's what I look for. You can go on YouTube and find all kind of channels with really, really cool videos and all these crazy, builds they're doing, but nobody will talk to you. And the whole point for me getting on here is to teach what I learn as I go. Because there's a lot of people doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. They have decided, you know what, I've got this truck, I like the motor, I like the truck, let's start building some things up. And I've been learning by trial and error, and by a whole lot of folks, helping me along the way. And that's the whole point here. I want to teach what I've learned. Maybe you can watch my video and not do wrong what I did wrong. Save yourself some time and some money for that matter. But guys, I want to say thank you. I recently hit 1,500 subscribers, which I don't know how in the world 1,500 people would actually want to watch anything that I've got to say, but I do appreciate it. And I know this isn't one of those subscribe, like, share kind of videos, but if it steers you towards one of my friends on here where you can get information from them, or if it steers you to Snake Eater injectors where you can get a good priced injector, something quality with a lifetime warranty, then I feel like this was worth my time. Of course, this is going to be a little bit of editing because I've probably been rambling for half an hour, but so I guess next step for me, I can go out there and fire my truck up anytime I want, move it around, so I don't really want to fool with it just yet. I'm going to order a pigtail, go ahead and get that squared away, and I've got a few more little miscellaneous things I want to do before I decide that I need to pull that intake off, check grounds. So I'm going to do a little more testing. I'm going to fix the issues that I've got, and hopefully here in the very near future I'll be able to get this thing back out the track. Because there's more things that I still want to do to it. I want to build an ice box for it, which I did on an '87 Mustang, and it was carbureted, and I was able to adjust the timing myself. I was able to adjust it up 5 degrees, and without detonation. So everybody knows you increase that time, and you're going to get a little more power. So I'm curious to see how it works out with this computer. I appreciate you guys for watching. I've been rambling long enough, and I'm sure my wife's going to come in here and beat me here in a minute anyway. But I appreciate you guys, and if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up on this video, and give me comments, because I need as much advice on this truck as I can get. Love the truck, gonna keep going on it. But thanks guys, appreciate you watching.